get this. Why am I not what? What were you saying? Am I live? I guess I am. I am? Oh, wow. I thought I don't do live shows anymore. This is not my best set. I'm not going to lie. I do wish. Yeah, St. Patty's Day. Hey. Yeah, well, we don't have enough green jerseys, honestly. I only had about 6, and one of them is a Notre Dame jersey. I had the Charm City jersey or shirt in mind, but I thought it'd be really mad confusing for viewers to have an OMFFL shirt in the background of a Washington County and Keystone show, since the only OMFFL team we really have in either league is the Misfits. Runner-up in OMFFL last season, actually. Hey, they're gonna be part of the Washington County Flag Football League this season. Let me ask you something, Ross Collins. How has your exile from 9-man been? Your exile from 9-man. You haven't done a 9-man game since Blackhawks Rampage. Yeah, that feels like a long time ago.
I don't know. I still remember.
What's happened to Ross Collins?
That's why I wouldn't really call him exile.
Have you dropped out? Like, what has changed, Ross?
I dropped out.
Like, there's been a lot of rumors going on about you, man. I believe me. It's all that matters. If I believe myself. Sorry, I'm on some stupid stuff while I'm trying to share this around. We have a Washington County schedule. Everybody wants to see it. Kind of last second. This has been very last second getting it done today, but we've been working on it since about 1 o'clock. The KFFL and Washington County schedule was both written in consideration with the captains in all leagues and their requests, and in the review with the commissioners once they looked over it. I spent a good bit on it. I probably misspelled a lot. I probably got a lot of things wrong. Let's first talk about the 2 leagues this season. So we're back to 2 leagues right now, which is good. I like it. Saturday and Sunday option. If you're a free Saturday, you want to get your 9-man bump, be in Shippensburg. You're free Sunday, go to West Virginia. We got our own version of Shippensburg and DuPont Soccer Complex down here in the Washington County Flag Football League. And I'm looking forward to being the new tenant there, man. You know, I'm really excited for all that could be this year. Sean Motes has done a wonderful job in bringing back the league and making sure this gets off. The work he has done off the field has been off the charts. And I got to give it to Sean. The task that he had to take on was difficult. You know, he had to revive the league after a long hiatus. You know, Ross, we didn't really get a chance to play last season in the fall. First time I believe there was no Washington County fall season since 1969, depending on the sources, as we trace back the heritage of 9-man flag football, or even flag football in general in this region, which has seen an enrichment of tradition over the many years. And we have seen many franchises come and go along the way. And I'll tell you, Ross Collins, I am here for the ride in 2022 now. Is that the year we're in, Ross Collins?
2022.
There you go.
World War III.
No, it's not. Yeah. So this year, whenever we see Bees and Chaos on the field, I heard there's a lot of bad blood between Bees and Chaos right now. Because, you know, they got problems and they got to solve them, bro. And they're going to get a chance to at least 4 times this season. We talked to the captains about this little, hey, you guys are in the same league. You realize that, right? Yeah. All right. I guess we can try to work it out. Let's make this work. Let's make it great. We're going to have the new version of the Chaos versus UNR rivalry this year when the A team and the B team face off or sorry, now it's the B and the C team. There's no more sharing gas anymore. Chaos and B's are separate entities now. It's a new era. It ain't pure chaos either. That's out the window. That's gone. We got a lot of things going on tonight. If you want to chime in, I'm trying to get it going. How you doing, Joppy? Sorry, guys. I'm still in preseason mode, as you can tell. Celebrating St. Patrick's Day, green jersey theme. We got on screen with us the Survivors jersey. Y'all remember the Survivors? Their green jersey back from the 2016 season when they were part of the Washington County Flag Football League. They also played that fall as well. Remember, that was the fall where TJ Williams made his debut in Washington County for the Survivors. You remember TJ in that initial season? Yeah. Pink hoodie. I'm fixing the balance of this laptop. I forget the instability. You can tell I've really been throwing this together as the day's been on.
What's that table to you right in the middle of it?
Yeah. I had an off day today. I actually had time for once. It was different. Then tomorrow I'm just driving all over the state. It's gonna be fun. But I'm here tonight for all this. This is something we've been waiting for. Let's at least, I'm going to go ahead and start with Washington County. Mostly because it's the graphic I already have mostly ready to do in a second and have printed out. I just got to actually download it again real quick. And we should be good to go. All right, cool. We've been trying to put this together on the fly all evening. We were waiting for ratification of the schedule by the captains. That's one of the key elements of this, is making sure everybody's requests are accommodated. There's no major conflict of interests. You know yourself, Ross, there's been many times over the years where your guys weren't available for a date. You had to make sure that was taken care of. Or else you might happen to roll up with not many guys on the field. You remember those times when you were a captain?
Yeah.
Do you miss the days of the schedule dropping? The anticipation of it?
I do.
Yeah. So here we go. See how this goes. I'm going to make some quick adjustments. But Ross, what are your thoughts? The teams we got in Washington County this year, Misfits, they're coming back. 2020 champions in the Washington County Flag Football League. They beat Showtime that year, and after that, them and Showtime have joined up ever since. They've been on a great ride with Chris Boone and company. And I'll tell you, that team they put together last year, people don't realize this. The Misfits were the most successful team in the country on terms of games won over time this last year, playing both A bracket league ball across the country. Ironically enough, though, in spite of all of that, it's crazy to think no championship last year for that team, but they played they played the hardest schedule in the country by far. You consider the competition going in the A bracket, having to play Strong Island Bulldogs, having to play main event, having to play the Lions, having to play Punishers, having to play the Rollers, even locally with OMFFL, having to play Scorpions and Rampage, even back here at home, Killer Bees, X-Dogs, Outlaws, everybody has been a threat to the Misfits. Wolverines, though, were the ones who took them down ultimately, though. Remember that the current defending champion in our region is the Wolverines, guys. Hey, sorry about that.
I
You gotta
thought
love
for
it.
your show. I thought you were leaving some video. Or
Oh my
something.
God, no.
I did. I thought you were leaving some video, tribute video for Wolverines. Good job.
No, my God, no. Jeez. That was a flashback to the old days. Oh, okay. Sounds on and everything. Sheesh. You can tell I've been just throwing it together all night. It's been a long day. It's been a long week, long month, 1 year. Here it is, Washington County. About to get it on there. As soon as it actually leads me to the folder. And then we're going to have a printed copy, obviously, posted. I'm not going to be a jerk and be like, no, but you got to look at the video only. Do this for presentation. If it looks small, let me know. Here we go on screen. I got it in full screen. How's it look when you're in, Ross? If not, I'm going to read it off. This is what we got for Washington County. I'm going to note something. Here's the major factor for our schedule. DuPont Soccer, once we had everything together, they announced the last second we had to make an adjustment where they
You can't read that.
can't. It's probably gonna be hard. I'm gonna probably just post it up and talk about it. DuPont Soccer had limited our time. After April 10th, we can only be there till about 1 o'clock. And that is because they have a soccer program just like the Keystone Flag Football League. Well, I'm talking about that. I'm gonna work on a better graphic, by the way. But like that's going to be a factor for this year. So we could start at 8 theoretically, but 8 is kind of experimental, in my opinion, for this season. KFFL last season, they did have 8 o'clock kickoffs, but there were times where teams were having a harder time filling guys out there. And I don't want guys struggling with that while we're trying to get a lot in at once. So we're going to take it as many games as possible. It's going to be 7 regular season games. Everybody gets each other once, plus a second game against 2 teams. The designated divisions I had in mind for that were Top Gun, Warriors, and Demons in one, and the other being Misfits, Bees, and Chaos. Those teams in those 2 separate divisions will get each other twice for the year. And then they have regular season games against one another. Everybody gets each other. Right. This is based on schedule requests and anything that's available out there right now. I did my best to accommodate what's going on, but I will go ahead and say this. I can't account for every single tournament, every single game that happens, every single director who may change their event. So many things can and will happen this year that can be out of control at times when it comes to that. We saw that last year. We had a few teams who ended up with some conflict of interests. We've seen that the last few years. Like, it's tough because sometimes we don't fully have our dates in order. And so because of that, we miss out on something, which is understandable. We're all guilty of that as people. I'm sure you've done it yourself, or else by accident. You don't book yourself. You don't really think about it.
Oh,
yeah. You made plans about 15 different people when you just realized it. Yeah. And time comes up, no one's going to complain. I want to complain about that. That just happens. That's life. So the way I look at it is this. We're going to come into the best of our ability. Week 1 is the only week where we can actually sit there and play as many games as possible. But we're going to keep it to about 4 for the day. Mostly because we have 7 games. We're limited to about a total of what ends up being for the season only about 21 games for the regular season. It's a short regular season, but a lot of that's, like I said, because we're limited on what we can do. Like we said, Sunday in the spring is tough. There's tournaments going on. XFL is having theirs in 3 weeks. Heard a couple of friends of mine might be heading out toward that way. Yeah, I might hit them up, see what they're doing.
That's fine.
Yeah, see what they're doing. Yeah, I heard that too. Ocean City next month as well. Atlantic City coming up. I know there's going to be a big thing in mid-May as well, but we're planning on playing around that time for that. Mostly because I don't think our guys will be really going out anywhere for that. I want to make sure we're playing. We got at least 6 games guaranteed for the regular season, or 6 weeks, I should say, that are guaranteed. Those dates are March 27th, which we're going to play 4 games that day. Man, I might have 5 actually. Let me make sure. Yeah, I got 4 for that day. Original schedule, I had 5. I had to double check. I've been rewriting this for a while. A lot of it, I also had to make sure that certain teams weren't getting too much games being thrown at them. Like, for instance, I didn't want the Killer Bees, for instance, to every weekend have to play 4 games, and then they're playing 8 games in a week span, and then they go to Ocean City, and then they have to play another double. Yeah, you got to make it make sense to the best of your ability. Next to that is numbers. That's the number of games so far, by the way, if you can see it, for those who can read it. Later on, I'll try to put a better video out when I have some time this weekend to explain all of it.
Maybe if you're on a computer, you probably can.
Yeah.
Well, on a phone, you cannot read that.
Yeah, phone's hard. Unless you got those big Motorola screens.
You can't zoom in on video either.
Yeah, unfortunately. But you take a look at it. March 27th, first date. Top Gun Warriors. That is your opening game. 9 a.m. We're going back to an old rivalry game in Washington County as a way to pay tribute to 2 different teams. We're going to pay tribute to Top Gun, a true West Virginia-based team. You know, this is going to be significant as the first time Washington County has ever played in the state of West Virginia. And this is huge for the guys who've been coming up here for many years, going all the way back to back in the day, coming up from Martinsburg, coming up from Inwood, some guys from Charlestown, some guys from Carneysville, all over the place, wherever you've been to, out there in Spring Mills, Falling Waters area, Berkeley Springs, out by West Virginia, anywhere across the state in that Eastern Panhandle. Guys been coming up for many years to play in our league, whether it's just been Washington County or even going to Keystone and Shippensburg. You got to give those guys a lot of credit for traveling, because they go an hour out of their way up 81, which is the worst road to even drive on. Trust me. 4 years ago tomorrow, Joey Blaze was born in a very deadly accident almost. Coming back from survivors practice. Remember that, Ross? Yeah. Almost died for the survivors. Happens.
That's great.
Next game up. But, you know, Top Gun, West Virginia, they deserve to have this opening game. Ricky and company volunteered for it. We talked to Sean and them beforehand. Yes, I was trying to be professional.
Trying to wait for it to get warm.
No, thank you. Moving on. Warriors, Sean Moats, the work he's done. He deserves to go out there and get that first game. We're going back to an old rivalry. First time that they're going to play each other since September 2018. You remember what happened, Ross, September 1st, 2018, when the Top Gun rallied back from an 18-0 deficit to beat the Warriors. We'll have more on that next week when we break down that game and many others. But Top Gun Warriors, 9 a.m. That is your opening game of the year. Followed by Warriors Demons after that. That's going to be at 10:10. So the Warriors back-to-back having to go up against 2 teams that there's a lot of interesting ties to both squads going into this. We'll talk more on that next week. But we got Warriors Demons at 10:10. 11:20, we got Misfits and Chaos. Misfits will make their return to Washington County at a doubleheader with 2 teams, one of which, you know, familiar foe in Chaos from Washington County, and another of which the Killer Bees, a familiar foe from the Keystone Flag Football League, a long-standing rivalry between Eric Hardy and John Regan in terms of on-the-field battles. They've had many over the years, including that 2019 KFFL championship when the Misfits beat the Bees 42-0. We got a lot to say on that next week. And remember the Who Made Who game last year between Bees and Misfits. Looking forward to how this new age Killer Bee squad comes out, though. I hear they got some young bucks out there that make Kenny Diener proud to play. Kenny, get back out there. Here's what else we got for Washington County at the end of it. April 10th, Warriors Chaos. That's going to be a 9 a.m. game. Killer Bees. You know what? I should stop being stupid and just put this stuff in the chat instead of being stupid.
Yeah.
Don't we have a chat for a reason? This is what happens when you just don't think. This is why guys get really annoyed with me. I understand it now. I truly do. I apologize to everybody I've annoyed ever. That's everybody. Scroll down, fix that. I'm going to go ahead and put in the chat at the very least. But, you know, we got that Warriors Chaos game. Remember, Pure Chaos, their first ever win was against the Warriors. You remember that, Ross, when Pure Chaos beat you guys?
Man.
What? Was that a good time?
No.
No.
A lot of people didn't show up.
It was a busy weekend, man. There was a clash going on, and people had to go there. But you know, at least TBT. Wait, that was the lead before York. Never mind. This was the one we filmed. My bad. Well, you know, RJ beat you guys that day. I give him props. My man got a win. Shout out to RJ, one of the guys from back in the day, Joe Corby's and the Hammers. But going back to what we were looking at, schedule ahead. We got Top Gun Warriors down there. So now we're at Killer Bees, Top Gun. So Killer Bees, this was talked about. I talked about it. We're going to make it great. Double headers. They're going to have a big weekend. They're going to have Killer Bees, Top Gun, a 10-10, followed by Killer Bees, Demons after that, 11-20. So Killer Bees are going to get a taste of Washington County when they face Top Gun for the first time ever. Who would have thought we'd get that matchup? Killer Bees versus Top Gun. And then after that, you get Demons as well. Misfits will be on a bye. Week after that, we're going to be off for 2 weeks. April 17th is Easter. So unfortunately, I don't believe we can run Easter. I mean, if you guys want to go out and play, sure, but I can get posted in the chat, by the way. I just tried to. But unfortunately, we cannot run on Easter Sunday. However, the next week, Ocean City will be going around. It's going to be an awesome tournament. We got some teams going there from the Washington County Flag Football League, including the Misfits. Killer Bees are going to be entering as well. Yeah. Really excited to see. Hope to see some more teams, man. Warriors got to get in on that, man. A lot of guys need to get in on that. I want to see chaos in there. Like, I want to see Top Gun go to Ocean City this year. They definitely got enough experience, guys, especially if they can get that team at least somewhat close to what the Spartans looked like last year in OC. Guys got to get out there, have fun. You know, we're only young once, and most of us are in our 30s now, if I'm being real.
33.
30, exactly. I'll be 31 next month.
A very fresh 33.
I'm a very old 30 at this point. I feel like I've aged about 10 years in the last few. That's because it's been busy. We've been on the grind, man. Always, all the time. You know, it just seems like I'm always on the grind.
Anyway,
back to it. May 1st, we're back in action. Top Gun Demons. That's going to be a part of a bit of a triangle match that day. Top Gun Demons, followed by Misfits, Top Gun after that. And then Misfits taking on the Demons. So Top Gun will face off against Demons for the first time, but those guys are very familiar with each other from over the years. Misfits will take on Top Gun. First time these two have played since the fall of 2018. So Top Gun going against a team they haven't played in a long time. Boy, has a lot changed since that first game. Sheesh. We're going to talk more about how much has changed over the years because Top Gun is kind of a bit of an oddity in this year's season, but I'm looking forward to having them back here, man. I really am. Always been a fan of Top Gun. You know, you've had some great matches over the year with them, Ross. Misfits and Demons. That'll be a rematch of the KFFL semifinals, so that's going to be a really good game. We'll talk about that too, because last year, remember, Demons almost knocked off the Misfits in the semifinals. Kevin Clancy and company almost pulled off a major upset in that semis. It could have easily been Demons Wolverines for that championship, but the Misfits rallied back. Classic Chris Boone, 21-10, sending the Demons home packing. Going to be a good rematch on May 1st. May 15th, Warriors and the Demons. That'll be out there, 9 a.m. kickoff. Killer Bees and the Warriors after that, followed by Killer Bees Chaos. So Warriors Demons, that's going to be a game to look forward to. A lot of storylines going into that one.
Yep.
Killer Bees, Warriors as well. That's going to be the first time these two franchises have faced off in 9-man since the offseason prior to COVID shutting down everything in 2020. However, it'll be the second time they faced off officially in a flag football game. Remember, Killer Bees knocked off the Warriors in the semifinals in the NEN tournament in 5-man back in 2020 as well. So let's see if the Warriors can avenge that loss in NEN, because I know Ross is still sauced about it to this day. You want to feel it suit up for that one, Ross?
What?
Killer Bees, Warriors.
Might.
We'll see.
I might play only D-line.
Question is, who gets the game-winning pick? We'll see.
Sean, man.
And on 5:15,
Sean
I will.
Maxwell.
Hey, one thing's promised this season, we will have media there. That game will be filmed. I will not disappear to go and take a lunch break unnecessarily. My fault. Keep going. Killer Bees Chaos. That's going to be a really good one as well. I'm really looking forward to that game. That's part of their best of 4 series in the regular season. Hopefully we'll get a 5th and 6th game in the playoffs. They're also playing 1 game a month against each other in this stretch, virtually. May 22nd, you're going to have Top Gun Chaos. We're going to 8 a.m. start. Like I said, some weeks we're going to do 8 a.m. Closer to summer is when I want to do it, because those mornings are a little drier early on. You don't have to worry about wet grass or anything. Guys by that point are a little more accustomed to the seasonal change. And while, it might be a little bit going on the night prior, at the very least, it's still a little more manageable than trying to risk the fields early in the morning and try to get ready up on a regular occasion. So like I said, 3 8 a.m. kickoffs or 2 a.m. kickoffs for the year, all at the end. We're going to have Top Gun and Chaos in the first one, May 22nd, 9:10 Demons Chaos, 10:20 Misfits Warriors, 11:30 Misfits Killer Bees. If anybody does want to view, I'm going to post it in the pages in a minute. The captains do actually have this right now in the captain's chat if they do want to post it in Washington County.
It seems like it's
Yeah.
over me, ain't it?
Yeah, we're good to go. That's a set schedule, all proved. But we got Top Gun Chaos, we got Demons Chaos, Misfits Warriors. Top Gun Chaos is going to happen for real this time. Remember, we almost had that matchup a while back. That was a game that was supposed to happen at one point. We're going to actually get it for real this time. Demons Chaos, that's going to be a game I'm looking forward to. Misfits and Warriors. Rematch of that 2020 game. Remember, Warriors are the last team to have beaten the Misfits in the Washington County Flag Football League.
That's right.
And also remember, the Misfits did not lose in the 4th state again until the Wolverines got them last time around. So Wolverines, Warriors, Showtime. The only 3 teams who have beaten the Misfits since they returned to Washington County in 2020. Remember, ADR, the only other team in Ruckus as well. So in those last 4 years in league play, Misfits only have lost to 5 franchises in this area. ADR, Ruckus, Showtime, Warriors, and Wolverines. This is going to be a game we're going to want, though. They're not going to forget what happened. You know what happens, Ross. You've been on the end of some Misfit beatdowns yourself. Remember 41-6 back in 2018.
That North?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went there for that. I had to leave early.
Yeah, you did, because you were about to cry.
Definitely never that.
After that, we're going to have a rematch match of a KFFL championship, Misfits, Killer Bees. That's coming up at 11:30 that day. That's going to be a good one. KFFL rivalry coming to Washington County. Another thing I wanted to try to do for this schedule was try to keep teams separated from each other as much as we could. Like when you have a rematch of a team, it's better to play them later in the year than opposed to a week later. I wanted to make sure this was something where everybody got a good joy out of it instead of something where it felt repetitive after a bit. We're going to have a lot of good matchups regardless. This should be a really fun time. with the season coming up. Going down with it after that, June 5th, you got Top Gun Warriors at the end of the season. Top Gun versus Demons as well. 8 o'clock starts with Top Gun. Chaos and Killer Bees will settle their regular season matchup there. Like I said, this is a best of 5. This is going to be the new Chaos UNR this year as the best rivalry in the 4th state. And maybe even the best rivalry in 9-man. We'll see. We will see. Chaos, Killer Bees after. Misfits and Chaos as well to conclude it. Let me go ahead real quick. Gonna fast forward. This is what it's looking like on terms of schedules for teams, individual teams. You see it across there. We're gonna go ahead and post all of it in the pages. I just want to go ahead and get that out there. Really excited for this upcoming season in Washington County. How about you, Ross? How do you feel coming in?
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah. Some other date notes about dates. As I'm a socially awkward kid trying to talk.
I'm trying to be a ref, though.
You trying to be a ref?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Okay. We got a lot of referee depth this year from what I've heard, though.
Yeah.
But that's a good foundation. We need more.
I'm just throwing it out.
I'm in favor of everybody having referee training as an emergency just in case. Even then, I feel like everybody should like start off small, like just learning at a time. You know, it's a good thing to have, man. Just because, you know. Well, I'm just saying, like it is because you need always need officials. And honestly, there is a mad shortage of them these days.
Yeah.
It's sad because like
all sorts of football, even kids football and everything.
Yeah, like you're getting to the point where parents have to coach and ref, coach ref.
You said broke at one point. What are you talking about?
I speak Sandy Hook now. Sorry. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Have we said that yet?
Yeah. Happy St. Patty's Day.
I think about to say Happy Thanksgiving with you two.
My middle name is Patrick.
Oh, that's right. You are Irish. I didn't notice.
It's the Irish thing.
Yeah, I'm always supporting the Irish. Always been a huge Irish fan.
Me too.
I'm glad when I was a kid.
Me too.
Remember the first time I watched them beat when I watched them play, they beat Tom Brady. It was a good day. But posting that on
Brady learned a lot that day.
He did. Notre Dame told him that. All right, let me go ahead.
Tom Brady should credit his career to
Right.
Notre Dame.
Right. Right. That's a good KFFL in a moment. So let me talk about a few dates real quick. So, like I said, April 3rd is XFL weekend. That's why we're off for that. Misfits is going. Team-wise, we don't quite at the moment had enough to make for full participation. We had 6 guaranteed weeks to work with. However, I have told the captains and everybody else, if we did have a rain issue on week 1, where let's say a torrential downpour hits, or we are not able to, you know, let's say play per se, because of the fact that the rain hits and we have to stop for some reason or another. I have told them if we do have any sort of rain, which we are going to be courteous due to the fact that we are in a shared facility with a youth soccer program that's part of the area and a major part of their community. And, you know, that's important to me. And that's something we have to respect as tenants for the season, especially if we are going to have facilities going forward locally.
Right.
Yeah. So like we are going to have the chance of rainouts. They can happen. That's ultimately a commissioner's call. That's something that will have to go through Sean from the park ranger himself and all that. It's going to be about the same deal as what we saw over the years. we're going to do the best we can to make it make sense and work out for everybody. I have told the captains, though, if we need to, we might have to open up certain dates for rain. April 3rd, I know, is the XFL tournament. However, if there is teams not going and we have officials, which that could happen, there is a chance we could end up playing some games. And I say some games that get rained out, not all of them, because if we can get at least some of the schedule done at times, that's good. It would be a case of teams not available that day. If they can't make it up, that's fine. But if we can get enough to make up at least 3 games from that schedule, then we'd be good to go from that point. But that's how we got it from this point on. April 10th, we're playing as well. That's week 2, technically speaking. April 17th is Easter. We're not playing that day, no matter what. As mentioned, April 24th, Ocean City week. Out of respect to Andy Hoffman and 9-man flag football, I would rather not play that weekend. I wanted our guys from around here, as well as our officials, players, and captains, to have a chance to go out there to that tournament and play and have a good time, and get a chance to face off against some different competition. If they want to, I know some guys may want to play, but right now I don't think we'd have enough to go out with anything right now, and I'd rather not try to undercut a tournament that's going on locally by being done by a director. We did a lot for this area over the years in building flag football. So personally, I believe we're going to be not playing that weekend. May 1st is week 3. May 8th is Mother's Day. Mother's Day is a rain day, technically, to me. If we end up having to have a rain delay before Mother's Day, that could be a possible day to play. If the captain's all agreed with that. May 15th is week 4. 22nd is week 5. May 29th is Memorial Day Sunday. However, I do not have enough support right now to really play that, but if we need be and end up having to be, we will make it so. June 5th is week 6. And after that, June 12th is Atlantic City weekend, which, as I noted with Atlantic City weekend, we're going to probably have misfits there. Who knows, another team might jump in from our league. Who knows, our referees might go out. Anybody might go. And, I don't really want to run a playoff that weekend, but that would be the earliest playoff date we could run. The second playoff date we could have is June 19th, which I understand is Father's Day. But unfortunately, it could be our best day. Because of that, we're looking at June 26th, which is Virginia Beach week, which could also depend on other factors too. Like I said, this is flexible amongst captains. It's something we're working out as we get closer and closer. Right now, June 19th is our expected date. That's the date I put out there. We really cannot and should not try to push it out any further. Like I said, I don't want to run on Virginia Beach week either. Because unless there's no 9-man tournament whatsoever by some chance, I'd rather not even run something that weekend, especially for our playoffs, and put the misfits or anybody else who want to travel. Just the native teams who go out there, killer bees, they want to go out there more. I don't want to deprive them opportunities, and I don't want to also go against any tournaments if need be. But after that is July 3rd, which July 3rd is 4th of July weekend. Would be the first time we've done it. We did play July 2nd, 2018, way back. Days before the 4th, but the 4th was a midweek thing that year. I don't know about playing that weekend, but if we have to, we got to do what we can. But we're open to what we can. We can't control the weather. Ultimately, decisions on everything on the commissioner's end go to Sean and the captains.
Yeah.
I just try to write the schedule to the best of my ability, given the parameters they set out. This is what we got for the 2022 Washington County Flag Football League season. I'm really, really excited to see what ends up happening in Washington County this year. Like I said, this, to me, Ross, I'm really excited. I missed the league and everything else. It was really different not having it last year and the normal doses that we just got used to. That was a yearly thing for us,
Right.
a seasonal thing for us. I was in the league every season from 2014 till about 2020. Last spring, we were involved to a degree. We did our best with the Warriors we could, but we were always too busy tied up with other things. And sometimes too much in the way of our own things.
Right.
We also, we had Keith come out there and film. He did a great job. I always put together his work to try to make sure he got out there. I'm glad we were able to capture last season because I felt like while people might have been down in the league, it ended up being one of the best playoffs you saw. There was a lot of intensity in that Warriors Tri-State Spartans game. Broad Axe's final run was really emotional to watch. You go back to the comeback with Warriors and Broad Axe as well. One of the greatest games in the history of the league. It was just an incredible year on the terms of on the field. It's going to be weird this year. No Ruckus, no Broad Axe, no Tri-State Spartans, no UNR. Out of the 6 teams last,
UNR.
no UNR, dog. All the promises that were made, all the hearts broken, all the revenge and planning. Damn. But I'm really excited. I'm hoping to see those teams pop up again. I know Broad Axe was trying to make a return, but unfortunately they were unable to find a quarterback who could come out and play for the season, as well as getting some other players. I would imagine it's tough to put together a team on the fly, especially whenever it's been a while, so to speak, for guys to get out there. Really hope that we do see Broad Axe in the future. It's not really the same without Miller Lite, in my opinion. And I'm going to call them by that name because that's who they are to me. That's Miller Lite. And we're going to actually end this episode and start a KFL right after this, just to keep it separated. But for me, them not being out there is not going to feel right. But it didn't feel right also being not seeing anybody out there last year for the Washington County Flag Football League. It just felt like a weird, abrupt ending. And then we woke up in some future else world where we were in this strange small town in Pennsylvania every week. A small town of Pennsylvania we look to visit very, very soon. But I'm excited. What matchups do you look forward to the most, Ross Collins?
All of them.
Everybody knows you're excited for the comeback, man.
All of them.
Yeah. I'm going to be out there week 1. 9 a.m. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to go ahead. We'll be out there. We're going to go live for Top Gun Warriors. That'll be my first game back. Spoiler alert, I will not be at KFFL that weekend.
Me neither.
It's too far of a drive. I'm pretty busy. Things are pretty rosy for me these days. I'm excited, bro. Is that somebody? Oh, hey, how you doing?
What's up, girl?
Hey. Hello, Mrs. Collins. Did we wake you up? We are live. Catherine Collins joining the show. Is she excited for Washington County?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super.
Super. There you go. All right. We're just going to go ahead. We're going to be back for KFFL in a few minutes.
Yeah, Miller Lite.
Miller Lite. No Spartans this year either, dog. Yeah. Tri-State Spartans. No UNR. What's life anymore?
No survivors.
Doom Squad.
Boom squad.
Top soldiers. Green Machine. Browns. But they were orange. The Green Machine, but they were, but the Green Machine was, oh God.
Still up?
We're being pulled to the KFFL zone. We'll see you next episode. Schedule posted all over the place. We're excited. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be legit. Washington County flag football is back. Let's stop, won't stop moving. I'm still in preseason mode. We'll see you next time.